Hey, it's Sam and Sam here, ready to deliver the second part of this webinar series.
Hey guys, yeah, Sam Robinson here, and yeah, sorry we're a minute late or so. We've had a few dramas here, haven't we, Sam?
Yeah, we certainly have. We weren't sure whether this webinar would go ahead, but we've been able to figure out a way, even though the entire town that we live in here has lost power.
Yeah, so we've pulled out all the stops to bring this to you tonight, guys. It's going to be incredibly practical. So let's start off by we'll give you the work handout to go by. So I'm just going to paste that into the chat box here. So if everyone can hear us, say hi. So here we go. Yep, we've got people coming on saying hi, and so hey guys, good to be here. Cool, and we're going to get started with getting that work handout downloaded. So get that in front of you guys now, so we can get onto that, and we will begin the slideshow. So I'll begin the webinar. So yeah, so this one here, last night, just recapping what went on yesterday's webinar, Sam Bakker shared a little bit about how he got to the position he is in today. Sam's done over $1 million in online sales, and I guess you could say I'm here to emulate that. So this webinar is going to be focused more on me and how I've learned with working with Sam Bakker over the last 6 months or so, and and I went from basically working full-time. I was working full-time from Christmas up until a couple of months ago into being my own boss. Now, that sounds like a great thing. So everyone here on the webinar, who would love to work for themselves? Put a 1 in the chat box if you would like to work for yourself. So yep, look at that. We've got 1s coming through already. So I assume you're here to learn how to make a little bit of money online. Oh, lots of 1s coming through. So so that's good. So so some people are clearly excited about this. And so what I'm going to do, guys, I can imagine you may have heard webinars and things before where it's all rather complicated. They sound a few steps too ahead for you. So I'm going to relate it back because I'm still, honestly speaking, still starting out. I've only been in the game 7 months or so now. I'm at the position now where I've quit my job. My wife quit her job, and now we're just traveling, and we're living in Thailand at the moment with Sam Bakker, learning as much as we can and applying what I've learned of him. And I guess you would have seen the transformation yourself, have you, Sam? Where I've come from?
Yeah, since you're here now. I definitely have. And one of the things about Sam that's been impressive is that he's got into this business very quickly and applied the information, applied the methods that we use, connected with a number of the right people early on, and now is finding some really good success for himself. And usually it doesn't happen for a year or 2 years. You start cracking in, but Sam has been able to within a matter of months, which has been really good to see.
Yeah, so there you have it, guys. I'm going to show you through exactly what it is. I'm just going to make sure, have you all downloaded the handout from the chat box? Give us a yes in the chat box if you have. I pasted the link into the chat box, so do get the workbook handed out because it would be good. We're going to work through a few things as we go through this webinar, so that's rather exciting. It's going to be incredibly practical, and there's going to be a lot to take away. And we are going to what are we going? Sorry, just lost my train of thought there. We are going to make sure there's a lot of question and answer time as well. So if you do have a question, paste it into the chat box. We'll be making sure we ask you. So it looks like everyone's got the link. I will just quickly put it in the chat box again. There are a few instances where it hasn't gone through. So there we go. So it's just in the link there, guys. It's an Amazon link. So just click on that. That should download it. It will be in a docx format, which is basically a Microsoft Word format. So if you have that, that should be okay. If you haven't, if it doesn't work for you, let us know. We will be able to send one out after the webinar. So grab a pen and paper and just take a few notes. So with that said, let's get started. Okay, so today, basically, what are we going to cover? Okay, so we're going to go over exactly what some of the outcomes of this webinar are going to be. We're going to cover how I got started in online marketing. You may have heard little bits and pieces here and there about where I've come from. You may have downloaded my guide and read that as well. So I'm gonna give it to you, tell it like it is, where I started. I'm gonna give you some insider tips about what I've learned working side by side with Sam Bakker for the last 6 months. Hands up, put a 1 in the box if you've wanted to give internet marketing a go and it just seems rather complicated. Let us know if it does seem like that. Look at this, we've got them coming through already. Perfect, yeah. So Ken, Abby, we hear you there. I know where we are coming from because that was me 6 months ago. I heard all the short talk. Heard Sam talking to people online and getting into it. It seemed rather daunting. So I'm gonna break it down simply, and we're gonna learn how to create your own products. I'm gonna give you a few ideas of how I started off, because it can be a daunting prospect creating your own products. I can imagine a lot of you out there thinking, man, look, where do I start? With you, Sam, like with getting started, what were your feelings when you first started out making a product?
Sure, I was pretty scared about not about creating the product itself, more about releasing it to people and having them judge how good it was. That was probably the biggest fear I had. I found it quite simple with the right tools to create a product. I had some ideas, I created those. The biggest thing for me was getting over my fear of having to be in front of people and having people actually go through the product.
Yeah, and especially you got that fear of, oh no, what's everyone going to think of my product? So we've touched on that last night as well. Having the confidence and knowing your product also helps you overcome that fear. So we'll touch on a few of those things, and we are you're going to find out exactly what you need to do in order to run your first successful launch. So judging by the amount of 1s in the box before, when I said who wants to work for themselves and who wants to get into internet marketing, I can imagine there's a few of you out there who are really keen to get in and run their first successful launch. And me and Sam, we were talking about this in breakfast this morning, actually, about how we've seen customers, especially Sam, who's been in the industry, Sam Bakker, he's been in the industry a lot longer than I have, seeing your customers, like yourselves on the webinar, turning into a success.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. We've obviously had a lot of people that have come onto these webinars and people that have worked with us that have seen a lot of success. To name a few, there's obviously a good friend of mine recently launched a product who I was helping in coaching, and he almost did $1 million with it. We've had another guy named, his name slipped out of my mind. His name starts with R. Ray's his name, and he actually went out and started generating money immediately after hearing some information. He went for the offline angle with video, and first week he generated over $11,000. Then about the next 4 weeks he generated actually over $50,000 with his particular niche, simply just creating videos for offline marketing companies, which was what we guided him to do. So a lot of successes come from this, and if you really plug in and start looking at the content and actioning it, that's the main thing. We're going to reveal to here exactly what you need to start learning, and it's up to you to action it and actually start doing some of the stuff that we tell you that you should be doing.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you've heard how Ray, made $11,000. Like, how exciting is that? Who would love to make $11,000 first week? I mean, it's so cool to see people, come from these webinars or customers, viewers, turn into big players in the IM industry. So that's the objective here, guys. I'd love to see your names up there on those leaderboards and launching your own products in a few months' time. That's the objective, and we're here to help you as much as we can with this webinar. So fire in those questions as you get them. So let's get started. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you a question. Okay, so the first question we're going to ask you: are you planning on selling your own product, and who is your market? So type it in the chat box. Are you planning on selling your own your own product, and who's your market? Let me know if you're planning on selling your own product. Type it into the chat box, and let's have a look there. Cool. And here we go. We've got some coming in now. Perfect. Yes. So we've got people planning your own product and who is your market. We've got a lot of you coming back saying that your market is other marketers. So playing the internet marketing game. Awesome. Write that down in your little handout. Take a few notes. Have a brainstorm and build off those. What happened is so you want to plan on selling your own product. I'm going to touch on how I created my first product. Admittedly, had a little bit of help here and there, but without taking a bit of action myself, it was never going to happen. So we're going to quickly touch on that as well. So I'm going to tell you how I got started in online marketing. So let's get started. So you've got it all written down there, guys. Perfect. Let's move on to the next slide. Cool. So how did I, Sam Robinson, how did I get started in online marketing? We'll take it back a little bit. I guess you could say I'm quite entrepreneurial. I've always wanted to work for myself. In fact, I'm 26 now. My goal when I left school at 16, I couldn't handle just sticking with what the system had for me. So I left school and I got a job. I was a mechanic. I loved cars. I've always loved car racing and things like that. I've raced cars in the past. I still race cars now, but I've realized I'm not going to make a living out of it. If anything, it costs you more money than you make unless you're right at the top of the game. So I remember telling myself when I was about 18, 19, I always wanted to quit working full-time for the man when I was 25. Okay, so I'm 26 now. I was a year late, but I set a goal. So that's something to write down in your workbook. Think of a goal. Would you like to quit working in 6 months, 12 months? What's realistic for you and your family situation? I'll show you a resource a bit later on as well, which is going to help you with that. But that's how I got started by I'd run a few businesses. I'd had a nutrition company. I'd had a company that exported milk into China. But before our first shipment went off, a scandal hit and it cost me cost me a $3.5 million deal. So I was pretty annoyed. I'd basically just run out of motivation really to run a business. I had decided I'm going to go get a solid job, and so I did. I moved into work, but then the itch kept there. I started a social media agency in Hawke's Bay in New Zealand when I realized there were some gaps in the market. But even then, it was so competitive, and it was hard to get your message out there that I needed more income. It's hard, to survive. So I got started in online marketing through Sam Bakker because he's one of my closest friends now. I've known his wife since I was about 16. They got married last year. I was at the wedding, and I'd seen what Sam was doing and the lifestyle he was living. Sorry, the power just cut for a second there, so hopefully you can all hear me. So I saw the lifestyle Sam was living. I wanted to be able to dictate my own hours and everything like that. So as we saw in the chat box before, a lot of you guys want to do that as well. So I asked Sam, how do I get started? And to be honest, it wasn't just a cakewalk. Here you go. Here's a whole bunch of stuff. Get started. It was using a lot of initiative. It was spending time with Sam, learning how the market ticks. And I'm just going to quickly check to make sure I've got an internet connection still. Nope.
You don't have an internet connection?
No, it's restarting.
Oh, man.
Oh, no.
Sure. This is your pad, your internet marketing pad.
Cool. Hey guys, we're back. Put a 1 in the box if you can hear me. Sorry, we just had a little bit of a power cut here. As I mentioned, there's a few things going on. Cool, we've got everyone back. Okay, does somebody want to just write into the chat box where I was up to? What was the last thing you heard? Cool, yeah. we just had a quick power cut here, and it took down the Wi-Fi. Okay, Sam had just got married, so I was hanging out with Sam. I was at his wedding, and as I mentioned, I've known his wife for a long time, since I was about 16, and I saw the life Sam Bakker was living. He was working quite often. He was working, on his own terms. He was dictating his own hours and still making an income. And it got me thinking, what the heck, man? Like, how do you do that? So I started to ask Sam, and Sam reached out to me as well, because he had seen the struggles I'd been in. But to be honest, it wasn't a cakewalk. It wasn't Sam just handed me a turnkey business ready to go. I had to make a lot of effort to get started myself. I learned, I made the time to spend time with Sam. Bear in mind, I had a full-time job, so I was making sure my Saturdays I would go hang out with Sam and see how the internet marketing world ticked. But the key thing, I would say, this is the key thing, and write it down in your workbook. The key thing that really got me started and helped me get into online marketing was taking action. Now, I know it can seem like really light words. It seems like a simple thing to do. Let's just take action. But I can tell you it was a lot harder than you think, especially if you're juggling a work balance and a life balance. It's difficult to find the time and the motivation, especially when you've been through what I'd been through. Taking action was key. So I can't stress that enough. That just if you've got nothing to do, if you're sitting at home and you're wondering what should I do today, get brainstorming, put on some good music, get brainstorming, come up with ideas, and just write things down, and don't be afraid of what people think of your ideas. So taking action was the main thing, and just observing and connecting with people online, not being afraid to get out there and just having the guts to go out and do it, basically. So I hope that means something to you as well, especially some of you that have been thinking about it for a while. And I'm glad you purchased this webinar. I'm glad you're here today, because I'd love to see you take action and turn into a success like we've heard with Ray and Josh and other people we know who have worked their way up from being customers and people on webinars to being their own marketers, making 5-6 figures. So let's get into the next slide, and I'm going to tell you what was my starting point in internet marketing. You need a few things. You need leads. You need connections. Okay, so I didn't have time to create a product. I didn't have developers up my sleeve. I didn't have thousands of dollars to spend on products. Okay, so we got quite inventive. It's about using timing as well. So it was coming up to Christmas last year. We created a product called the Boxing Day Blitz. Okay, Christmas is a time of giving. It was a perfect time. It's typically a quiet time in the internet marketing industry. I asked around. I asked Sam Bakker. I asked many people in the industry. Is Christmas a good time to do something? And some people were saying no, it's quite quiet and all of that. But we looked at it and saw it as an advantage. It was an advantage because a lot of your bigger names weren't launching around Christmas. You had very little competition, and so now I had a time frame in mind. I had timing. I had a goal. We started it early November, believe it or not. So we had just about 2 months to create a product. Okay, so note this down. Timing. Find a time where you think you're going to have enough time to develop a product and it's a good spot in the market to do something. So we did the Boxing Day Blitz. Okay, now as I mentioned, I didn't have money to spend on developing a product, so you probably read it on the slide already. I contacted other internet marketers. Okay, you got to reach out over Facebook and Skype. I mean, I get friend requests on Skype all the time, and on Facebook from other marketers or wannabe marketers. You would have the same too, Sam. You friend requests all the time, and
Frequently, yeah, about probably 5 to 10 a day. I'll get about looking to talk to me about a product they have coming out, or mostly it's about a product someone has coming out.
Yeah, so there you have it. Like you're not the only person that's reaching out, and you're not inconveniencing us. So don't be afraid to reach out to other marketers. I did. I just said, hey, I'm a friend of Sam Bakker's. I'm looking at getting into the industry and whatnot. And I just said, look, I'm doing a product. Sam helped a little bit as well, but it is something you can do on your own, no problem. I wouldn't hesitate to do it on my own. I just said, look, we're doing a Boxing Day Blitz. It's an awesome promotion. We just want to give something back to the industry. How do you have a product you would like to donate? And the response was almost overwhelming. We had plenty of products. We had well over 10 products that we bundled up and turned into the Boxing Day Blitz. Now, think about it. I didn't have to spend a cent to get a product, and I had one of the biggest value products basically all year last year in the Boxing Day Blitz. There was training, there was softwares, there was everything you could imagine. So timing was key, but then also just reaching out to affiliates. Jump in the chat box, let me know. Do you know other people in the industry at the moment, or are you just completely green to it all? Let me know. I'd love to hear if you know people, if you have someone you can reach out to, or if you don't. Let me know in the chat box. I'll be happy to give you a few pointers or any questions as to how to reach out to other marketers. Jump in the chat box, the question box right now, and let me know, and we'll have a look and see what we can do to give you a few pointers on where to go from here. So let's get those questions in, guys. Okay, yep, we've got a few comments coming in, and so Ken, you've said you've only people you've bought from. Should I ask them? Yes, I think you definitely should talk to them. I check the sales that come through, the people that buy off me, and you recognise names. You see a lot of names. You see a lot of you'd see a lot of familiar names pop up on your lists of people buying. Would you, Sam?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, and you have people reach out to you as well.
All the time, yeah, every day, daily basis.
Yeah, and I do too. I've had a few customers reach out to me, ask for my opinions on various products that I haven't even promoted. So the good thing about having you bought from them, definitely get in touch with them. Get in touch with them via email. Find them on Facebook. If you have their Skype details, it doesn't hurt to have a chat to them. I had a guy recently, I mentioned this yesterday on the webinar, sorry, nighttime our time. I mentioned this yesterday on the webinar. I had a guy reach out recently over Facebook. I had no idea who he was. He just said, look, I've come up with this product. I think, it's a good fit with what you're just doing with Video Sales Blueprint. Would you mind having a look? But why not? So I had a look, and excellent product coming out 11th of May, and it was very impressive for someone who's just starting off. So I said, yeah, I'm looking into it. We're looking at putting together a promotion for it, and that's a step into the industry. So don't hesitate to reach out to other marketers, and and have a chat. If you do know somebody, reach out to them. If you don't, get in contact. Even feel free to look me up on Facebook and go through my friends list and see who's out there, and just say, you did a webinar with me, just anything to start up a conversation. Say you've done a workshop and you were inspired by what you saw with the Boxing Day Blitz and you wanted to do something similar. There's a whole bunch of unique stories out there, and admittedly some of them you do get missed, but one thing to keep in mind, write this down as well. You've got nothing to lose. You've got absolutely nothing to lose by reaching out to people. I started by, even though Sam was a friend of mine, I had no idea what he was doing. I still had to reach out and ask what he did. How do you do it? probably got a bit annoying sometimes. There's probably moments where you had to show me things over and over again. And I guess you would have started by reaching out to people as well, Sam.
Yeah, it did help. I had a coach, a couple of coaches really. There was one in particular that was very useful early on who gave me some really key insights to help me with my marketing. And another one that I'm still kind of friends with today, who I actually would pay about $250 per hour just to get coaching from him. And that was, it was a lot for me at the time, but it was well worth it, the money that I invested. And it's helped me to get to where I am today.
Cool. So there you have it. Even Sam started out by reaching out to people. Nothing to lose at all, guys. So don't hesitate to do it. Find me on Facebook, stalk my list, anything like that. Get started from somewhere, and I'm passionate about helping you guys get started as well. So don't hesitate to reach out at all. So here we go. We'll continue with the slides. So I decided to create a product, and so the Boxing Day Blitz was born. As we were just discussing, I sort of might have got a little bit ahead on the slides here, but as you can see, the Boxing Day Blitz came out. It was a lot bigger success than I thought it was going to be. I didn't imagine that sort of success. I guess the product shot to #1 on JVZoo. Again, that goes to show that timing is everything. So write that down as well. Timing was perfect. The market was quiet. I was able to release my first product with Sam Bakker. I teamed up with Sam Bakker. We worked together, and it's another thing is when you reach out to marketers, especially if you've got a product that's really, almost there, ready to go, it is a way you can get the marketers to help you promote it. So Sam jumped on. Luckily, there was obviously a little bit of personal connection there, but as mentioned before, I wouldn't hesitate to try and do it on my own now, and or reach out. But luckily, Sam was there, and we're good friends, and he was passionate about helping newbies get started as well. So the Boxing Day Blitz was born. We shot to #1 on JVZoo. We've run out of.
Oh man, hopefully the generator's not down completely. Looks like it's a big hit this time. We may be staying in a nice hotel, boiling hot, forever. Stuff looks going to change well. Pick up our stuff and go. It's time for us to leave, eh? It's a sign.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, it's going well.
Yeah, we're doing good time-wise, eh? So you were worried when I was going through them with Eva. I was like, this is going to be one long webinar. You know when it records the webinar, does it still record this one?
No,
it records it. Good.
Yeah, she gets so recording.
Cool. Hey guys. Sorry again. We had a power issue. Jump in the chat box and let us know you can still hear us. Just say a yes or something in the chat box. We just had the lights go out. There's a few dramas happening in town tonight. We've heard there's a issue with the power. The power at our house cut out. So we went to a resort up the road that had power and booked a room just to do this webinar, believe it or not. We weren't going to give it up for anything. So I believe the resort here is on generators. So it sounds like everyone's got us back again. So we were up to the Boxing Day Blitz. Okay, so Boxing Day Blitz shot to #1 on JVZoo, and we got product of the day. Okay, so it became the product of the day. There was a banner on JVZoo. There was a tweet go out. There was an email go out to everyone saying Boxing Day Blitz is so hot right now. Jump on, promote it, and buy it. So what a start that was to the internet marketing career. And again, it was just a case of timing. I guess it would say good timing, but it wasn't through pure luck. It was through a couple of months of planning and just identifying a good time to start and a product that would fit. Okay, and then also the Boxing Day Blitz, it made over $25,000. Okay, that sounds, it's awesome. That sounds cool. $25,000, great. All the things you could do with 25 grand. Imagine that. But the main objective of the Boxing Day Blitz, and something we did to get a lot of people online with it, it was we gave affiliates 100% commissions on the front end. Okay, so affiliates are the people that are, mailing out the offers, and obviously there's got to be something in it for them. So we gave affiliates 100% commissions on the front end product because these products were not mine. And it was so again, I couldn't benefit from it. It helped me get products from other marketers because I wasn't making money off them giving something away on the front end, but I got leads. Basically, the affiliates all got on board because they knew there was 100% profits for them in the front end, and yeah, basically it was a case that it wasn't a money making venture on the front end. We had a few things in the back end to bring us an income, but the main objective was that I got leads. And I just saw a question come up on the chat box. What was the Boxing Day Blitz product? It was a combination of products. It was well over 10 products that were donated from marketers. Todd Gross jumped in and gave us his green screen profits training program. We had various softwares and plugins. We had training problems, scripts, and things like that. So there was a lot of just content from the market that gave everyone basically a little toolkit to get started and help boost their business online, creating better videos, and it pretty much led into Video Sales Blueprint as well. But getting back to where I was heading is the fact that on the front end there was 100% commissions. The money, I wasn't banking tons of money on the front end, but my main objective was leads. Now that sounds weird. Who would imagine doing their first product and just giving it away? Put a 1 in the box if you would just give it away and expect to make no money, or put a 2 in the box if you would have liked money from giving away your product. So because it does seem a bit weird, just basically almost giving something away. So we've got a few replies coming through. 2s, everyone's sort of thinking this is a bit of a weird logic. Why would you give a product away for free? Okay, I'll tell you why. It's because of leads, basically. I needed a list. It's all well and good creating a product, having an injection of income, and then you may have half a year before you bring out another product. There's guys in the industry who go months on end and just bring out a product and then that's it. Okay, and this is where it's something that I've learned off Sam Bakker, and I've applied to boost my income. It's mailing the product. So we're going to so what I did is, now that I've released a product, I had a list of about 600 people, 700 people who bought the Boxing Day Blitz, who I now had all their details. Some of you might have bought the Boxing Day Blitz, and you've been getting my offers so far. So I had a list of about 700 people who were in the market. They were in the market to buy. They've bought the Boxing Day Blitz. They need more things to keep their business running. I buy products all the time. You buy products all the time too, Sam. We were talking about it at breakfast this morning.
Yeah, most weeks I buy some sort of product, something that will help me in my business, or I'll buy white label rights to something that I know will help me make money.
Yeah, so we talked about it last night as well, in various webinars, the white label thing. So we both buy products, and now we had 700 people in an email list wanting to buy products. So what do I offer them? Some of you may have had products offered from me before. We got a few things coming in the chat books. Yep, some people get my offers, so that's awesome. So I use Aweber. I've got an Aweber account, so you will need an Aweber account. Write that down. There are other softwares out there, your MailChimps and things like that. Aweber is just a personal preference. That's where I put all my leads into from Boxing Day Blitz. You get a report of who's bought and all the email addresses, and you can import it. And so I used Aweber, and I wanted to give them tools that they can continue boosting their business. So I started promoting other offers I saw on JVZoo from other people who had, who had come up with products. And it's, how did I know what they wanted? What I did is initially you put out a survey, or you just even email the list and ask what they'd like, or you think about, feel free to write this down as well, you think about what they bought off you. And so what has all these people bought off you? And then you send them information about products that you want to offer, that are similar to what they bought, because it's what's valuable to them. But then, so I started sending out offers, and the list reacted. Okay, the list reacted. They bought this, they bought that, and but what another key thing is just always encourage. I always encourage my list to reach out to me, get in contact with me. I love to hear how they're doing when they bought a product, and I love to hear what they want. If they say, I love this product, Sam. We even just say, for example, Max had a graphics pack out recently that I promoted. It helped inspire what some of the content and video sales blueprint was all about, because when I promoted the first one, he just brought out version 2. When I promoted the first one, the feedback was phenomenal. People were like, I've been wanting this. I know there's a few graphics packs in the market at the moment, but people were like, yeah, man, I need this. I've got into video. I need some assets, and thank you so much for hooking us up with the deal and the bonus pack and everything like that. So I was promoting offers. I'm just going to check to make sure the audio is still working here, because we just had the lights drop out for a second. Is it on?
Cool, we're back. Oh, no, we're not back. Oh, yeah. The reset.
Yeah, reset the modem, man.
Oh, we'll get there.
We're getting there. Hope Eva's loving this, 40 minutes in, we're a third of the way through.
Yeah.
We're tracking well for 2 hours. Wow. Let's start speeding through some stuff. Here we go. Oh, are we back on? We've just had the lights come out again. Put a yes in the chat box if you can hear me. Sorry about this again, guys. It is what it is, but we're doing all we can to get this through, because I really want to see you guys do well. So we're pulling all stops out to make this happen. So awesome. Sounds like we are back. Everyone's happy. Cool. So I'll just bring up the slide that we were on. Just make sure you can see it there. Perfect. So yeah, basically promoting offers that my list liked. I love to take on board feedback. So if you do receive my offers and there's things you want to see, email me. I'm keen to keep an eye out. I have a good relationship with a lot of the product creators and affiliates and things out there now. So we work hard, we hustle hard to get the good offers. So I would encourage you to do that once you've got a list. Is don't be afraid to ask the person, the product creator, can I have some bonuses? Can I have some things that will give my customers a lot of value? I want to make sure you guys are getting your money's worth. So that's another key thing, is when you're mailing your list, you're promoting to your list the JVZoo offers. I'm promoting products that other people have created. Don't be afraid to offer more value than what everyone else is. So that is a key point. And so as you would have guessed, I had my first, I finally mailed out. I mailed out an offer that everyone would like. And let's see, I remember my first offer, it was an ebook. It was just an ebook, a little guide on how to make money with a mobile offer method, basically. The list that I had just bought the Boxing Day Blitz package, which is, it had a whole bunch of tools, how to boost your income and things like that online. And out of this, it made me $350 US. I made in one email, basically. It did take, so as the slide says, it's not bad for a newbie. First time out, $350. To give you an idea about the sort of work that I had to put in, I created a bonus page. I created a page on WordPress with optimized press, created a bonus page. I got a few bonuses off the product creator. I hassled him. I told him I've got a list of people who would love this product. They would eat it up. And of course, the product creator was like, "Oh, what can I do to help you out? Here, have some bonuses." And I also bought white label products online. So I added these to my bonuses as well. Some of you guys may have had some of these bonuses because you were on my list. So people bought it, and through the commissions, I think there was about 50% commissions on the sales, I made $350 US. So that translated into over 400 New Zealand dollars in New Zealand. And to give you an idea on the relative income, that is probably more than what it's about, the minimum wage in New Zealand is about $440 a week, working a 40-hour week. So that's your people who may work at a fast food chain, those sorts of jobs. And I almost made as much as they would make in a week by spending a couple of hours building a bonus page and emailing offer to a list. So how many of you out there would love to make $350 basically with about 3 hours work max? Put a 1 in the chat box if you would love to have injections like that come in, cash injections. Look at that, one's pouring in yeses. Yep, you'd love that. So yeah, like it's amazing. It's $350. It may not seem like the mega bucks you're promised, but when you think about it, that was one promotion, one email. I made $350. So what that is, so what I do now is I try to email about 3 times a week. Okay, this is where it gets interesting. You've got to promote to your list. Your list are your customers. They basically expect to be sold to. They want to buy stuff. I'm on everyone's list. I want to buy things all the time. I'm always looking for the best offer. But the thing is I don't want to offer people rubbish either. So I go out of my way to ensure it's something that fits the list, what the list wants. So I try to email about 3 times a week. But I won't email 3 times a week if there's nothing in the marketplace I don't see fit for what my list wants, or I don't believe in their product. I'll only promote products where I can see myself or people I know benefiting from it. So take a note of that when you are promoting. Don't just jump on anything and everything. Jump on something you fundamentally believe is going to do well. We had this debate the last few days. Sam Bakker and I, we were talking about, we've seen a few things in the marketplace. We're not going to mention names or anything like that. In the last few weeks, there have been a few products where you're sort of like, I'm not going to promote this. I'm not.
Yeah, well, the product hasn't worked, or something's gone wrong, or maybe it's that the product actually isn't. It's building fear in people for no real reason. There's been a few products out there recently, and you do what's right for your list. You don't go out there and push something that's going to be bad for your list, because in the long run it's going to be bad for you if you continuously do that. So we steer away from that. We treat our subscribers well as we can, and that's a good way to have a working and successful relationship with people that plug in and trust us to provide the best information.
Yeah, and write this down. Like, think of you mailing your list like you have a shop. If you had a store on the corner in your friendly local neighborhood, and you had customers coming in, and you were offering them just junk all week, stuff they don't need, stuff they don't want. It's overpriced, it's unpractical, it doesn't even work. Are you going to run a business like that? Think about it. You're not. You're not going to have customers come back. You got to think of your list and how you market it exactly like you're running a store in the flesh, basically. Something you get caught up. you get caught up in with being on the internet. You're on the other end of the computer. You can lose the personal touch, but you've got to keep that in mind. Write it down. Keep running your business like it's an offline business where you have to greet customers. You have to offer them value. You have to sell them a product that works and is worth their money. So some weeks, there's mega weeks where you have 4 or 5 products and you don't know what to choose, and sometimes you send your list something every day and a half almost, because there's just so much good stuff out there. There are some products where you will continue to send it to your list because it's just so good you don't want them to miss out. So have a look through. I'm going to bring up the next slide because it's going to be a handy resource for you as well. You would have seen this in the resources area on the Video Sales Blueprint. I documented my journey. I documented my journey because now I've got a list. I've got a list of about 600, 700 people, and now I'm making about $300 per promotion, upwards to 400 plus US per email. I was 3 times a week. That's an extra. Do the maths. 3 times a week at 400 US. That's an extra. That's $1,200 a week. I don't know what sort of incomes you guys are on, working jobs and things like that, but personally, I think $1,200 a week is quite good. Put a 1 in the box if you wouldn't mind $1,200 extra a week in your pocket. Bear in mind, I was still working full time at this point and pulling a wage as well, so I'm making $1,200 a week pocket money by promoting to my list. So look at this, we've got ones coming through. People wanting to, would love to make that sort of money. And so what I did is I documented my journey. So you'll find this in your resources area of Video Sales Blueprint. Have a read through. There's some practical steps there. And what I did is because, again, just like this webinar, I'm passionate about helping people start off. But then also I used it as a way to gather more leads and get more customers. What I did is I talked to affiliates where I think this ended up in the back end of one of Sam's launches, a few other launches you may have seen. In the members area, they put it in, download a guide to internet marketing. It redirected them to a page that had a box, sign up, put your email address in, sign up, and you get this free internet marketing guide. And we had a couple of hundred people download this guide. So suddenly my list of customers had gone from around the 600, 700 mark. It boosted another 200 people. There's another 200 people out there willing to buy. So that was another lead generation tool. So write this down as something you should be doing is constantly working on getting more leads. It's like expanding your customer base, having more people walk in your shop front and seeing what you have to offer. So you have more chance to sell. And it's the law of averages. If you've got 1,000 people on your list, the law of averages basically dictates X amount of people are going to buy. I don't think you are going to have promotions where sometimes very little people buy. You may make $50, you may make $100, you may make $400, $500. It comes and goes depending on what people want to buy. But at the end of the day, for about 3 hours work online, if you net $100. It's still better than nothing, right? So I started gathering leads through that. So now I gathered more leads. I wanted more leads again, and to make a bit more money. So I came up with we came up with Video Sales Blueprint. Video Sales Blueprint has launched now, and Video Sales Blueprint is actually almost a result of me wanting to share what has helped me generate an income by creating Boxing Day Blitz and my promotions. Video is a big part of what I do. Video has made all the difference in my promotions online. A few of my first promotions after that first one that did $350, I had I had a few that went really slow, and I was like, what's going on? It shouldn't be this bad. So I started creating videos with the slideshows and things like that, like you'd see in the training area, and turned it into a point of difference. And I thought, man, I bet you there's a lot of people out there in my shoes who would love to have a difference. So, and the difference for me was video. Video was incredibly effective. It boosted my sales, it engaged my list, and it helped my list put a personality or a face to what I'm offering. I've got an offer going out tomorrow where I simply, the demo video speaks for it, but I want to make sure my list knows I'm behind, I back it, I'm in for it. So I did a quick intro video and added it in, and that's how Video Sales Blueprint came about. We turned what I wish I knew, or what I thought other people might get caught up on, and turned it into a product. So here we have it with Video Sales Blueprint. And then with Video Sales Blueprint, through you guys who have bought it, and a lot of people, again, we shot to #1 on JVZoo on the first day. Various parts of our product chain were in the top 10, which is, again, another phenomenal launch. But and admittedly, as a result of launching, of course, the financial rewards were good. But what, again, I'll emphasize this again, and this is something I've learned off Sam Bakker. The thing that motivated me the most, and I said it to you, Sam, is I'm pleased a lot of people are buying Video Sales Blueprint because they can create a business for themselves. But again, it built my list.
Yeah.
It gave me more leads, and leads are a big part of it. And I did tell you that, didn't I?
It is, yeah, and it is a big part of what we do. Like it's really important that you're constantly building your subscriber list, because the more that you obviously the more that you build your list, the better it's going to be, the more people you can influence, and as a result, the more money you'll make.
Yeah, so there we go. I built the list again, and as I said, I'm making, $300, $400 per mail out I'm doing. That's $1,200 a week. Now, all these people have bought Video Sales Blueprint. I've, doubled my list. So basically, if you think about the law of averages, again, it's simple maths. Double the list, I would expect to make double the income through my mails, but it doesn't come easy. And again, just think back to the shop scenario. You've got to offer something better than everyone else has. You've got to prove to your customers that you are getting, you've got to prove to your customers that you're giving them more than someone else, and you genuinely care about what they get. I would be horrified if I ever emailed out something that was completely useless. Some of the people on the webinar right now who have come into the chat box and said they have bought off me and get my list. That's cool. It's great to see you guys here, because it shows that I'm offering value, and to me that means more than what some of the financial rewards are. I would say if you're passionate about what you do, write it down. If you're passionate about what you do, you believe in your product, you believe in what you're selling, the money side of it's just going to come. It's almost a byproduct of the effort you put in just through actually believing in the product you're selling. And do you find that as well, Sam, as you create products all the time?
Yeah, it does. And if you're selling something you believe in, it really comes across in the way you communicate about the product. If you're talking about a product you don't believe in, often it'll actually come across in your voice or actions that you don't really believe in the product, or you're hiding something, and that doesn't help. The best way to be successful in this industry is actually not by showing desperation and trying to introduce people to something that they may not be interested in. It's actually through being honest, making sure that when you genuinely do feel like you can make an influence or difference to your subscribers, then doing that and communicating it in a way that's honest and ethical as well.
Exactly. And you just look at like some of the things we've got here in the Video Sales Blueprint. A lot of it is useful, helpful software. It wasn't created to, let's go bank some money. We'll create a cool product, and or we'll create some rubbish product and hopefully everyone buys it. You just got to look. You got to look at Video Sales Blueprint. It's training. We wanted to give you guys an idea of how how to create videos and use it to boost your business. You look at the video script software that we had in there, and those sorts of things. All those sorts of things are actually there to helpful, and they're useful products. They're just not garbage. So there we go. Believe in it. And the process is a simple one. So this is something I've learned from Sam Bakker. This is a good glimpse into the inner workings of the internet marketer's mind. There's a few people out there that just launch a product and bank maybe 5 figures, and then they're off for 6 months and they launch another product, and it's not a consistent income. What I am trying to do with my own strategy, and I've learnt this off Sam, is create and launch a product. It's going to bring you money. It's going to bring you leads at the start. But then the email promotions is a bigger part of the business than launching a product in terms of an income.
It can be, yeah. It can be. You either do one or the other, or you can do both. But we find that our email promotions actually are more successful than our launches. So with that in mind, it's better to get leads off launches and then do email promotions than it would be to do just launches. And, so we focus substantially on our email promotions, putting a lot of effort and time into our email promotions to make sure they're successful. And as a result of that, we make actually a lot more money through our email promotions. I believe it's almost double, if not 3 times, the amount that we make from launches through email promotions.
So there you have it. Who knew that? Put a 1 in the chat box if you knew that already, or put a 2 in the chat box if this is something new you didn't know, where you could drive a consistent income just through email promotion. So put a 1 in the chat box if you thought all our money just came from launches, or put a 2 in the chat box if you're like, wow, this is a new strategy. I've never seen this. Oh, look at this. Yeah, people thought there's quite a few people coming in thinking, man, these people just make their money off launches and carry on. No, a key to the online success, I've learnt this off Sam, I've seen it firsthand, is the email side of things. I talked about, making upwards of $1,200 US a week through just purely sending out emails. As I mentioned, I don't know what sort of jobs you may have or what you do for an income right now, but who would be happy with $1,200 a week? We asked it in the chat box before. A lot of you would be, and bear in mind, some weeks we do promotions where there's more of it, and you're looking at up to $2,000 a week in your bank account for for emailing and keeping your list happy. So email promotions is a huge part of it, guys. It's a simple process, and you just need to follow it. Create a product, bring in those leads, and then email those leads. You don't want them to just disappear off into the countryside. These people have bought off you, and they want to buy more, as we've mentioned before. I still buy often. Sam buys often. We were talking this morning. I was just saying I'm going to go buy up some more more products because I need more in the portfolio to offer to my customers and also for myself to use. So there we go. Here we go. We've had a really good question come through here from Joyce. Sam, this is going to be one you're going to be able to answer this. I'll be able to answer this, but let's just let you answer this. Is HanFan and Mike from Maine examples of ones doing mainly affiliate promotions?
Yeah. Han hasn't actually ever launched a product. What he does very well is he creates reviews about products, does interviews, and builds a list through actually releasing free reports on the back end of launches. In the members area, he actually asks the product creator if he can add his report in there. And then he also does YouTube promotion and Google promotion through Google, generating a bigger list. He's very unique in terms of marketers. He does it differently than many marketers. Mike from Maine is another example of someone doing it very uniquely, doing it much different from other marketers. Both ways work, and there's no right way. You can choose which one really fits you and what you want to do and run with that.
Yeah. Really good question there, Joyce, and this is it's quite good. I was, we were talking about it again today, believe it or not, when we're going through these slides, and we're talking about how Han and Mike focus on the email promotion side of things. But you can go that way if you really want to. This is the way that's worked for us, and I've seen it. I've seen it, firsthand exactly what sort of results it can have by doing it this way and bringing in fresh leads and email promotion. So there you go. There's something to focus on. Write it down. Create a product, launch, grab leads, but then sell to the list. Use the list. There's a saying in the industry: the money is in the list, and that's just so true. So write that down and make the most of the people that you have subscribing to you. Okay. So let's have a look. We've got the next slide up, which is a pretty picture of me and Sam. What I've learned working with Sam Bakker side by side in the last month. Well, I've shared a heck of a lot already. I hope you've got some real value out of what you've seen so far. I've shared a lot. Most of what I have learned with Sam Bakker is what I've already mentioned. Take some notes, write it down in your handout. So the things I have learned is basically having, when you create a product, believe in the product. Don't create rubbish. Don't even go there. No one's going to promote it. People that do promote it are going to fire you useless customers because they're not going to want to buy off you again because they've already bought something rubbish. So quality, basically, have a strong emphasis on quality. There's so much stuff out there in the online world that is no good to anyone. It's garbage. So focus on quality and making sure you're only promoting quality. Don't sway off that path just to try and make a quick buck, because it is going to burn you down the track. And you would have seen people before, with launches where they've released products and it's just been a disaster.
Yeah, well, I've learned most of the stuff that I do know from having disasters myself. Early on, I didn't understand what it was to offer value to my customers, and it's taken a while to, really understand what it is that my role is here in order to help customers. And I found that previously when I mailed, I would just email my subscribers with the intention of making money myself. Now, before sending out an email, I look over a product, I research it, I make sure that it's genuinely going to be good for my subscribers. And even at times, I'll put relationships I have with people that are product owners at risk because I want to do right by my customers. And that's the mindset you have to have. Your customers see that. It's one of the reasons that I've been so successful over the last year and a half, 2 years, is because I've put my customers before the money, put my customers before my other marketers in the marketplace, even friends of mine in the marketplace that are product creators. Put my customers first to make sure that they're getting value and that they get the best deal when it comes to actually purchasing products or learning online.
Yeah, so yes, yeah. We're back online now. Just sorry, guys, again that we're having the power issues, but we're working through it. Thanks for you that have commented on where we cut off, because it's getting a bit just getting a bit off topic here. The power's going out. It's getting a bit crazy here, Sam. We've seen lightning outside and all sorts.
It is getting a bit scary. Yeah, the whole town is out of power, and I think we're almost considering actually packing our bags and leaving to Chiang Mai, which is the next big city, about 3 hours away.
But first, we've got to get the webinar done.
First we've got to deliver some good content for everyone here. So
I hope you guys appreciate it.
We're not going to ditch and run away to Chiang Mai just yet.
No, we're going through an interesting time here, but we're keeping focused and making sure you guys can take away something valuable and something that you can apply for yourself to basically basically, transform your life, transform your business, transform your finances. I'm really excited to, see your guys' success. So let's truck on with the webinar. We're not going to stop because there's a bit of lightning outside, power's cutting, and there's just generally drama everywhere. So as Sam mentioned, we just mentioned, you need a high quality product that you believe in, and don't sway away from that at all. Whoops, I've just started the whole slideshow from the start. Bear with me.
Blame it on, it was the electricity.
Yeah, we'll blame the electricity. There's a glitch in the system. Here we go. Can everyone see my screen okay? I'm just going to play. I'm just making sure everything's synced up with all these power cuts and everything. Just let me know in the chat box you can see the screen okay. You've got the slide up with me and Sam Bakker on it. Perfect. So get your notepads out or your worksheets out. Okay, what I've learned from working with Sam Bakker, I've broken it down into a few basic steps that you can follow as well. Okay, the next slide we're going to go on to. Always be creating. Start brainstorming your next product now. So as we mentioned, you've got launching, creating products or things like that. Some of them take time. Video sales blueprint was months in the making. We spent considerable time revising it. Like in terms of the actual core product, it evolved massively.
It did. Yeah, it started off as a graphics pack, and then after that, we kind of had a look at it, didn't we, and decided that we wanted to be more unique. We thought that we could do better, basically, that we could do better, and that it would be a really good idea if we actually incorporated some a training side to it, and eventually that actually became the main, selling point, or the main reason that it was a useful product.
Yeah, and that's the thing as well, is because, creating a video, the asset pack, a whole bunch of assets. We had a lot of great feedback last night on the webinar and during the members webinar earlier on in the week. Everyone's thanks so much for the assets, but at the end of the day, I remember thinking back, and we were like, we need to make it a bit different. And again, it was just going back to like that sort of newbie experience, I guess you could say I have. I'm like, well, it's all great having a whole bunch of graphics, but do these people really know how to use them? And we wanted to create something that is going to be valuable for the customer. So we brainstormed, we completely turned the thing upside down. We'd created pages and an entire website for this graphic pack, and we turned it upside down. So we're always brainstorming. You're always working on your next product. I'm already halfway through another launch that's coming out on the 15th of May. That's been a little bit in the making as well. And we've got about 2 or 3 more on the go up our sleeve. Myself, you probably do as well.
Close to 10, yeah.
Yeah, close to 10. So Sam Bakker's got close to 10 launches up his sleeve that he's working on. And you're going to juggle time talking to developers and things like that. But all of these came with an idea. So to start with an idea, I've jotted things down. As soon as I landed in Thailand recently, I opened up my laptop and showed Sam a brainstorm document I'd come up with. Someone I had gone down to the local social media agency in New Zealand and literally sat the lady who owned the company down and said, tell me what you want. What sort of tools could your business use to be more effective? And I ended up with 3 pages of ideas, which we're developing now into a product as well. So there's another idea as well. If you got an idea of what part of the market you want to be in, what you want to use, don't be afraid to reach out to people and just ask them, what do you need? What exactly do you want? And you can go ahead and create that product. Next thing I learned, spend quite a bit of your time on your sales page and video. So you've got the product developed. Okay, it's very easy to try and rush it to the market and get it out. We've spent considerable amount of time on the sales page and the video, making sure everyone knows exactly what they're getting. Because we've seen examples in the past where people have come up with a fantastic product, but you log in, you have a look and everything, but you watch the sales video and check the sales page, and it's just not there.
Yeah, and that is the case. We actually, if I can say this, my first launch ever on ClickBank that I did. It was probably about 5 years ago now. And I remember we had the most amazing product. We'd spent months developing it. And then about 2 hours before launch, we didn't even have our sales page done yet. We were literally creating. We were like, this product is going to sell itself, without thinking through that, it may sell itself, but if you don't actually have some way of presenting it in the right type of way that would actually make it attractive to people, people aren't going to buy. We had over 5,000 people visit the website within the first hour as we actually still updated the sales page. And we made about $5,000 the entire launch, when we should have made something close to $100,000.
Yeah, and so spend a lot of time on the sales page, getting your pitch right. Work on things. Write this down. Write this in your notebook. I'm going to give you a few little sales things that I've kept up my sleeve. Something people are always going to buy because of greed. People, if they can see a way to get something cheaper, where they don't have to buy full price, they're more likely to buy it. So greed is like a buying factor. If you saw something cheap, you're going to want it, aren't you?
Yeah. Often I'd say it's the right type of. I wouldn't call it greed. I'd call it more probably the motivating factor is scarcity. If something is on special and there's a view that it might be able to be someone could get it for a discount, you're gonna act then and buy it then opposed from later. That's one of the things about it. And I think you're leading now into launch discounts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
A big part of our strategy is using scarcity and really motivating people to buy. Sometimes people need a bit of a push, and it's completely ethical to give them an additional reason to purchase now, sooner rather than later. Money in the bank today than tomorrow. And if you actually use scarcity in your marketing by saying, there's an early bird special, giving a substantial or minor discount, or a reason basically for people to purchase, it does help you to sell the product. And if a person sees that they want the product, it encourages them to buy today instead of waiting till tomorrow or just forgetting.
Yeah, and that's another thing that leads on to, it basically goes hand in hand with what one of the things I was going to get you to write down is fear of loss. People are going to buy if they're scared they're not going to be able to get it again. Or I get it all the time when I email my list. We email out an early bird product. We usually put a few extra bonuses in there if they buy up quick during the early bird period. I had one the other day. I was traveling at the time as well. I was in the middle of an airport. Got this email off this guy. He was completely freaking out. Yeah. He was losing his mind because he was like on his way home from work or on his way to work or something, and he couldn't buy the product. And he was scared he was going to miss out on the bonuses, and he was basically begging, if I buy this product after the early bird, can I still have the bonuses, please? And thanks for reaching out. If it's one of you on the webinar today, thanks for reaching out, and you got your bonuses. But it did, he was scared he was going to miss out, so he bought. So fear of loss and the money factor is something that's always going to sell. And then also sense of urgency goes in hands with fear of loss. Write this down. Create a sense of urgency with your product. With us, even in the video sales blueprint, you're on the webinar right now. You had to act fast to get the webinar and to get in, and it's days later and we're already doing it. If somebody came to us today and said, can I buy your webinar, please? I'd love you to run another one. It's not going to happen, is it? You guys got in, and so again, sense of urgency combined with fear of loss and that money factor is really gonna sell, and so keep that in mind. That works really well in the online game, and use it in your sales page, and then create really good videos. Sam and I were working on a sales video today for another product we have coming out, and man, we spent half the day. We were out. We've come up with a new angle to go on videos. We'll have to share it with you soon. I can't wait to share it with you. How we, the science behind this video and the mindset. But yeah, we spent the morning working on some of the nitty gritty sales side of things, scripts, and then we spent the best part of half a day today just to go out and get footage and create, help create an effective sales video.
We did, and you don't have to do this. We wanted to do something a bit extra. Partly because I guess we're leaving Thailand, so we wanted to have a bit of a Thailand spin to it,
Yeah.
but also because we enjoy it, but mainly because it's engaging, and we wanted to try a few things out. It's always important to be continuing to learn, and in our case, we wanted to try a few something different, and you'll see that in the video that we have coming out.
Yeah, cool. So there you have it. Don't be afraid to spend a bit of time on creating a good sales page and a good sales video, or else your product's going to be wasted if you don't. So I saw Sam Bakker's sales pages firsthand and thought they were awesome, and plenty others, and that's again when I'm looking to promote a product. If the sales page is no good, or the the video is no good, I'm pretty disinterested, to be honest. It's your shop window. So moving on to the next one, outsource where you need to. As you could imagine, creating these products and mailing and things like that, it's pretty heavy workload. I mean, could you imagine doing everything yourself?
Yes, that's what I did at the start.
You did, yeah. So there we go. Yeah, you might have to start off with quite a lot at the start. I used to do quite a bit as well, but now I guess I'm lucky enough. I've got a very supportive wife who's also a talented graphic designer. So we harness her knowledge with design and graphics and things to do things. In terms of developing product, I don't know what the man is. Sorry, there's a massive rainstorm going on outside, so I hope you can still hear me okay. I've got a wife who's a graphic designer, but then also I know nothing about coding a product or writing the software. So what we do is I put jobs out on sites like Odesk to find developers, cost-effective developers, harness the power of the internet and people's skills all around the world, and use them to create your product for you. You can work with them. Sometimes they're depending which country they're from, language barrier can be an option, can be something you need to overcome, but outsource where you need to. We have people who outsource all their graphic design. We still do a little bit, even though my wife is capable of doing most of it. Sometimes the workload needs to get done really quickly. So I have a designer who specializes in just doing design now. And so don't be afraid to ask for help. And if you're unsure of where to get this help, write in the chat box. Let me know in the chat box. Have you gone to create a product but you don't know the people or don't have the skills yourself to create it? Let me know in the chat box right now if that has been a problem to you, if you've needed help to create a product. Because as Sam mentioned, when he started, there was a huge workload. Same when I started, and I was working full time. Outsourcing really helped, and we've had people come through say it is a problem. Here we go. Yeah, we've got someone here saying, I don't know where to start. Once create a concept for your product, and then put it out on Odesk. Chat to other marketers. I've got some of the people I'm hooked up with now, developers and designers through other marketers. I've asked them, your page looks great. Who do you use? Things like that. Have you found people you use through other marketers, Sam?
Plenty of times. Yeah. Usually, I'll actually ask other marketers for a recommendation when I'm finding a developer or a designer, and it can really help.
Yeah. So there you have it. And these people are incredibly talented. It's cost effective, but also come up with a good concept. And tell them what you want. And a lot of them, you'd find some of them you have to spoon feed them exactly what you want. Some are really awesome on the initiative front. Have you found that? You just sort of tell them, and a lot of them can just get to work.
Yeah. They're usually they're very good. You do have to, depending on who you've got. A lot of the time you will have to give quite a bit of direction, and it's good to do that. But once the designer understands what they're doing, then often it's quite easy for them to come up with a really cool concept for you.
Yeah, so there you have it. Some of it's not too bad, as you'd imagine, creating a product. So that's another little insight is outsourcing. You got to have a good balance, live a good work sort of life balance. And so the next up, if you're going to have a launch every month, have a strong lead generation strategy to keep growing your list. If you're not going to have a launch, I mean. So as we talked before, your hand fans, your mic from mains, they've got a really good strategy to keep growing the list. The money is in the list. You've noticed I hope you've taken it in by now at this point of the webinar that getting new leads and creating a good list is essential. It's essential to generating more money. You might want to just launch a product and you're fine with $10,000 here, $10,000 there, or if you're more successful, like realistically starting off, a lot of people would be happy to hit 5 figures, or you may go large and hit 6 figures plus. But realistically, that $1,200 a week that I have coming in at the moment, my goal is to get $4,000 a week flowing through the door, and we're closing in on that fast because realistically, I want to make this worth my time. I've quit my job. I can get by on that sort of money. I'm living in Thailand. Plus, I've had the launch of the Boxing Day Blitz and now Video Sales Blueprint come through to top up the bank account, so to speak, and another one coming in. But, it's getting that consistent money, and through just having a solid income that I could basically live off if I needed to by just mailing the list. Is a handy backup, because when you think about it, the launch side of things is, it's a filler, it's a great savings mechanism, or it's like the cream on top. So that's something I've learned off Sam, is that, if you're not going to launch, or the mailing is a big side of it. So you need to always constantly bring out, have good reasons for your, got to have a good reasons to keep building a lead list, and Han and Mike from Maine are very good examples of this. And keep a calendar and promote good products often. I touched on that before. My rough goal guideline is to promote 3 to 4 products a week. Again, don't go away from that quality side of things. If just because I said promote 4 products a week, don't go out and do it if there's not 4 products worthy of promoting. You want to keep the list happy. So we've covered this off. So keep a calendar. I've got my list. I know what I'm going to send out over the next couple of weeks. Give or take a little bit of time here and there. So keep that in mind. And now moving on to the next part of the webinar. How many of you out there would like to know what can you do this year to make a 5 or 6 figure launch? How cool would that be? Creating a product to make a 5 or a 6 figure launch. How many of you would love to do that? The chat box is going nuts already. We've got people saying yes. I want to be able to learn how to do that. So we're going to get into it, and we're going to give you something special here. We're getting into some of the items that are, it's getting a bit like, oh, we're starting to share something that is exclusive to you guys now. So what can you do this year to make a 5 or 6 figure launch? Start creating your product. And this gets really exciting here, guys, because we've talked a lot about creating the product. We've heard in the chat box, a lot of you have no idea how to create a product. So we've thrown in an unannounced bonus. Who likes extra things for free? Put a yes in the chat box if you're excited to see what this unannounced bonus is, especially if you are having problem creating a product. The chat box is lit up already. Everyone's all excited. So I am going to post that just down in the chat box for you, so you can download that. Look, the chat box is going nuts, man. Look at that. I'm going to post that here. You can download it. This is a guide, a very special guide for you. It is your guide to 6-figure launches. It was written by Sam Bakker, and it is a step-by-step process on how to create a 6-figure launch. So open that up, save that on your computer. Have a read through that, guys. It's a really useful bonus, and I've revisited it a number of times. I've looked through documents like this to just refresh me on where I need to be and how, go through the steps to do it. So here you go. You've got an unannounced bonus that you can get into straight away. And the chat box is still going nuts. So that's awesome to see. Now, so we've got the unannounced bonus. This is going to help you create the product. So we're at the point where we're going to help you create a product. Okay, now we're going to move on to the next bit. Create your sales page and use Video Sales Blueprint to create a compelling video. Cool. So as mentioned before, you've bought Video Sales Blueprint. I hope you're all finding it incredibly valuable, and we're just going to quickly jump over. And so use Video Sales Blueprint. Harness what we've created for you to create an effective video for your sales page, because it's, we're mentioning before, you're starting out, it's no easy task. So we're just going to quickly have a look through this training video again. Some of the things you can use to make effective videos is read the blueprint. The blueprint's going to tell you everything. The blueprint document is going to tell you all the little tricks, and it's an easy guide. Combine it with the, read the product guide, create a product, read the Video Sales Blueprint, and start planning an awesome way to promote your video. So get the blueprint, get these video scripts. These video scripts are essential. We were working on video scripts this morning before we went out filming. It's an awesome way to remember what you got to say, put your product out there to the people, and make sure you don't miss a point. You would have seen training videos where it misses the point completely, and they could have benefited from a script.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. And it does help to have a script. I use a script in all my reviews, all the one-time offers, and all the actual sales videos as well. So there's always a script, and it's crucial in communicating the right message.
Yeah, and because at the end of the day, you don't want to have to make a 20-minute sales video of you babbling on about nothing.
Yeah.
If you can get it down to a couple of minutes of clear, concise, impulsive, a manner, where it's clear, concise, and impulsive, you have a winning sales video. And to do that, unless you magically got the gift of the gab, which some people do, the script helps a lot. Training videos, if you're unfamiliar with how to do things, have a look through the training videos. We tell you how to plan your video and a few other bits and pieces like that with the resources. So do go through these as well. And then, I guess, use everything in the Video Sales Blueprint. Have a look at our green screen studio. You've got the links to buy a few things down there. And there's my guide to the internet marketing. So jump on and download that. See how I did it as well. It's got my guide to internet marketing. Jump on and get this resource, because it gives you an idea of what you need to set up your PayPal account, your Aweber. I set up a Facebook that was dedicated to online marketing side of my life. I had a personal Facebook account, which was family and friends, and I created a work one so I can separate what I'm doing, easily. And I've actually deleted my personal Facebook account because I've moved on, but because I just love using my IM one that I made to keep in touch with affiliates and customers and things like that. So it's become my life. So have a read of that for some good tips of how to do that. And have a look through all the ebooks, and then also harness all the resources. Harness all the resources and the bonuses that you got with Video Sales Blueprint as well, to help you create more of a, basically help you do your launch. So make the most of everything you've got, all the videos and resources, and we will go from there. So back to the slideshows here. So we've got that, and on to the next thing you have to do is, for a 6-figure launch or 5 or 6-figure launch, create one-time offers. Our one-time offers for Video Sales Blueprint was the white label product. That was one of our one-time offers, and you had a chance to buy it and make more money. So it's a bit more value, and it adds more money. You guys are here on this webinar because you went through and you saw, wow, there's a webinar, so you bought that as well. So create extra value to your product that people, some people would want to buy, basically. How would you describe it, Sam, in terms of the one-time offers? It's taking your product and expanding off it?
Yeah, it's doing it in the right way as well. Basically, with a one-time offer, the goal of the one-time offer is an upgrade. It should add to the product. It shouldn't be a necessity, but add to the product so much that people want to get access to the upgrade. So often we'll split up a software. We'll have the main software that will be great on its own. Then we'll have an upgrade that just adds to it substantially. And in our case with Video Sales Blueprint, the white label was the best option for us. It was a really cool upgrade that we thought people would really love, and they did. So that was sort of the thinking behind the one-time offers.
Yeah, so there you have it. Sam just nailed it on the head there. So when you're planning it out, coming up with it, do think of those sorts of things, and definitely don't be the guy, as Sam mentioned, that your one-time offer is a critical piece of the core puzzle. You don't want to send people through buying all this stuff that is this, they needed right from the word go. So the one-time offer is a good way to make your launch even bigger. And then also getting a mentor. You've had a mentor, Sam? You started off, you had a couple of guys.
I did, yeah. I've had many mentors throughout the time. Some of them don't know they're my mentors, but most of them have been people that I've learnt from through meeting with them by chance. The reason I found out about online marketing was because a friend of mine, kind of more like an acquaintance, became really successful. My mum dragged me down to connect with him and meet him and ask him what he was doing. And I had no idea what any of it meant, but it led me on a journey which has sort of brought me where I am today.
Yeah, so get a mentor. Another way you can get a mentor, I'm lucky I had the personal connection with Sam, but then, we've seen a lot of people come through the industry who just reach out. As I mentioned, don't be afraid. You have absolutely nothing to lose by reaching out to people and talking to them. So don't be afraid, guys. I still do it. I've done it in the past with, in life with business. If it's with my motor racing, things like that, just reaching out to people who I thought it was impossible to reach out to, and you'll be surprised sort of what circles you work your way into, and so don't be afraid at all to reach out to people. You may end up with the right people around you. It's out of this world. You couldn't imagine it. So connect on forums. Have a look through forums. Even Google internet marketing, just see what's out there. Connect with me on Facebook. Stalk the people on my Facebook or whatever. Just chat to people. Get a mentor and just start to learn how you go about doing a launch. So just don't be afraid to reach out is probably the key thing I'm trying to make here, and that basically leads on to the next one, is start making connections with affiliates. Got an amazing product, but if you've got no one out there to send it to their list, you're going to struggle for sales. Yeah, so make connections with affiliates. We're constantly talking to affiliates all day. I wake up, I talk to them. I go to bed, they're still hitting me up about this and things like that. And you are too, Sam.
Yeah. It's very frequent in the businesses all night. People all around the world. Someone's always up. Someone's always active and doing something. So it is constant. At first it's great. You love it. After time, you'll be like, well, I'd like a break. But it is one of the parts of this business, and you treat affiliates with respect and help them in any way you can, because they are the lifeblood of your business. So it's really important to keep them happy.
Yeah, and again, it's using that analogy of having a shop. Imagine having a whole bunch of friends that went out and brought customers into your store every single day. Treat those people right; they're going to bring more customers to you. And then how it also works a lot as well is these people are going to bring customers to you. A lot of these people, they create a lot of products themselves, and when they have a product, they let you know. You build a good circle of people that you trust, and you review their products. You know it's going to be quality, but you always check it out anyway, and you promote to them. So it does seem to be a bit of a two-way street. Have you found that?
Yeah, it is, definitely. I mean, it works both ways. You've got to keep them happy, and they'll be keeping you happy. And it's just one of the parts of this business. If you want easy traffic, it's not a necessity, but it does really help.
Yeah, so there we have it, guys. It's heavy into the relationship side of games, so the relationship side of things. So do reach out to people, and don't be afraid to make that personal connection. And then when you're getting really starting to get going, Sam and I, we're actually off to England next week. Mm-hmm. No, not next week, next month. Maybe next, yeah.
Probably next week.
Probably next week. Yeah. We'll see how we go
next week.
At the rate it's raining outside, thunder, and the power's cutting out, we might be best to go sooner rather than later. Yeah. We're off to England. We're going to meet a few of the affiliates in person and network at an event up there. Sam's actually going to be speaking. I hear I'm getting on stage as well.
Yeah.
And it's going to be meeting people in person and making those connections. But right now, if you're just starting off, don't be afraid to reach out and just at least show that you're willing to work and help them. I mean, when I started, I was talking to people that I wanted to mail to, and I was just like, man, I just want to, I want my list to see this. Your product's amazing, and do that. And then now when we brought out, Boxing Day Blitz and Video Sales Blueprint, it was, going back to them and saying, I've been trying, I've been supporting your products and things like that. And they're like, cool, yeah, man, I'll hit you back. And some of these people, they've got amazing lists. Some people, 40,000, 50,000 people on the email list, and they can really make or break your launch. And it's a secret to, doing that 6-figure launch is just having the right support behind it and the right people.
Can really help, yeah.
Yeah. And then finally, this may seem like the bare basics, but believe me, Sam's seen it. I've seen it, stuff that's completely not ready. Triple check everything hours before you launch. Before we launched Video Sales Blueprint, we were going over and over again. We were testing to make sure all the pages linked up. Some of them weren't. We'd rebuild this, we'd rebuild that, making sure things were all working. Admittedly, there were a couple of links that weren't working, but people typed into support and told us that they weren't going in the members area, but when you consider the amount of content that was in there, I'm sure you can understand that, and we worked hard to ensure it was fixed as soon as possible. But just triple check everything, make sure you ticked it off. Nothing worse than you're launching, you're ready to go, and your product's not even approved on JBZoo.
It's always the same story. Hope for the best, but prepare for the worst.
Yeah.
So make sure that you do all the checks. That make sure that you write a list. There's nothing you've forgotten. And that'll make for a good launch.
Yeah, cool. And now you've hopefully you've done your 5-figure launch, your 6-figure launch. If it all goes really well, definitely be in touch if it has. If it gets to that point, we'd love to hear from you, and we're here to encourage you and help you as well. So don't be afraid to reach out to myself over Facebook, because this is what it's all about. So now you're probably wondering, I've launched, what to do after my launch. We've talked heavily about the emailing side of things. Okay. So you've got to figure out a strategy to mail your customers and everything like that. So something that as well in that unannounced bonus. I hope you've all downloaded it or you've got the link there. If you've had trouble getting the link, drop us a message in the chat box. We'll get that out to you. Check the unannounced bonus that we had. It's got templates for your promotions. So it's got all the templates and everything you need to carry out your email promotion. And also, I structure the email strategy. This is another thing I've learned off Sam Bakker, another little insight. This is exactly what this webinar is for. How I structure my day. I wake up in the morning, obviously talk to affiliates and things, but we usually spend the morning portion of our day, even though we're working on launches, we spend the morning portion of our day working on our emails, getting ready to mail out.
Yeah, it's the first thing. Like one of the things that I noticed about successful people online was that they focused on where the money was today. I'm not sure who told me that or where I learned that, but always do first what's going to bring you in money immediately, and then do the stuff later on that's going to bring you money over time. So we always do our email marketing, our promotions in the morning, and then we work on launches or any product planning or anything like that in the afternoon. The reason that we do that is because the money-making activities are out of the way, and we do those when we're most fresh in the morning. And it's just something that I've learned. It's a bit of a routine, and if you can get into the right type of routine, then it can really help you as well.
Yeah, and you've nailed it right there. It's great to get into the nitty-gritty work side of things in the morning and get that guaranteed income out of the way. I mentioned, you're probably sick of hearing this right now. There's at least bringing in $1,200 a week, and that's because every morning we're working on this guaranteed income. You can spend months, you can spend weeks, you can spend hours working on a launch. The last thing you want that to do is get in the way of where the money, the guaranteed money is coming in. So we'll work on that in the morning while you're fresh, and in the afternoon you can do some of the more different stuff, which is the doing your launches and things, and that can actually be a nice little break from doing that. Like today we're out riding around, making videos. So that's quite cool. And then also something that you probably almost paved the way for it a bit, Sam, and I've learned off you, is when you mail your promotions, don't just send them to the person's sales page. We always make a landing page. We always make a bonus page. Some of you in the webinar who are customers of both of us or one of us, you'd notice when we do mail you, I always put together a specific bonus page. So this is a page where you send your people to. This one on the slide might not be a good example, so I'm just going to quickly pull one up and just show you what one of the bonus pages would look like. So you can just give your customers a bit more of a personalized experience and everything from there. So I'm just going to quickly share my screen again. I've had the video plan. So I'm just going to quickly show you a landing page of something we created. This one here is a video lead box. It was a product that came out recently, and I mailed this out to my customers, and the sales flowed in, as you can imagine, kept that guaranteed income coming in. But it wasn't because I just send out a link to go to the sales page. Me and my wife, who helps me a lot as well, create these pages. What we do is I've created a specific video at the start here where I've introduced the demo. So you see me on the screen, and we start talking. We've put some of the bullet points there to give your customers a good idea of what it's all about. And we put the early bird button, the discount, and just, a whole bunch of features. It's almost like a mini sales page. This takes a little bit of effort, but it makes a huge difference. I've never mailed an offer where I've just directed someone straight to a sales page. I've always built landing pages, but I have been mailed offers from people where they direct you straight to the sales page, and I can't see the value as much as like this.
Well, yeah, it doesn't help to build a relationship, and it means that your list or subscribers will grow tired a lot quicker. So it is essential to put some sort of landing page and also give extra incentives or a reason for people to actually click your email opposed from other people's email about a particular product.
Yeah, and what we do on these landing pages, we've mentioned it before, is give our customers extra bonuses, extra value. So we put bonuses in there as well. I usually structure my landing pages. You do it too as well. They're always very similar. So the minute my customers open up my landing page, or Sam's customers open up his, they recognize it as a Sam Robinson or a Sam Bakker page. They know, oh, sweet, this is my guy. He always looks after me. Yeah. This is his page, and he's spelt it out for me exactly like it is. It's easy. I understand it. I'm ready to buy. And we chuck in the bonuses as well. So you've got all the bonuses in there. And so if they know they buy it through you, they're going to get 7 extra things. So basically that's it. Build a landing page. It counts for a lot, and it's made a huge difference through the email marketing online compared to a lot of people we know, and also just doing the videos. Having a specific video on the landing page. You spent a considerable amount of time today doing a video for one.
I do. Most of the time, because I get it wrong the first time or the second time or the third time. You need to get it right. Make sure that it shows and demonstrates every aspect of the product someone might be interested in. It needs to give a full test of the product. And often I will test out a product and something will happen, or I'll realize there's a different feature that I haven't noticed, and I'll redo the video to make sure it's right. And it really does help to have that personal touch. And also people that listen to my open my emails, it's important to them that they know exactly how it works and that I've actually gone in and tested this product. And when you think about the percentage of marketers that actually will go in there and test products, it's very low. If I was to check all the emails in my inbox right now of marketers that were actually doing a full review of a product, looking at the positives, negatives, the features and benefits of it, I'd probably find next to none. And that's why we do it, because it takes a bit more work, but we know the importance of it for our subscribers, and that's why we go the extra mile, and it does pay back as well.
Yeah, so there you have it. It's going the extra mile, looking after those customers, keeping them coming through your shop, using that analogy again. So and then to get these customers to visit, you've got to create compelling emails, have a catchy headline. We were discussing again today, yesterday, I believe, about we've seen some pretty catchy headlines coming out from a few other marketers. So we were talking about ways we could do that and set ourselves apart from everyone else. And also check your unannounced bonus for the templates to use. It's got some cool templates in there. So mix them up, make them your own, and go from there. So the email is you can do a few little tricks to really increase the amount of opens you get with your email. If you use Aweber and a lot of those sorts of services, they tell you how many of your lists have opened your email and how many have clicked through, and you can see the difference. We actually had a brainstorm this week about writing the emails.
Yeah, and then the thing is also, you don't want to be hypey or overly hypey, but just stay consistent with how you communicate with your subscribers. Because my subscribers on my list, I know that they attract to me for a certain reason. And other subscribers attract to other people in the marketplace for a certain reason. It's because they, can relate or have, some sort of connection with the marketer. And that's the reason. So stay consistent. Don't start stealing other people's subject lines unless they're really good and you can make them your own. Be creative, but be yourself, and that will really help.
Yeah, so great advice there, straight from Sam Bakker himself. So there we go. And so where to from here for you? Where to from here for you? So where do we got to head now? We're going to move on to the next slide. So just imagine where you're at, how we're gonna move forward from here. Get clear on your target market. We spelt this out a lot earlier on. I'm sure you've noted it down by now. Get clear on your target market so you know what you've got to isolate, who you've got to talk to, what you've got to start developing, and brainstorm basically. So that's the first point. Write that down. Get clear on your target market. Next one, get your product ready and customized for action. You've got the product ideas, you've outsourced, you've got the products, you've talked to the right people to help you get the product or whatever. Get it all ready. Make sure it's all ready because it's not easy to build a sales page or a marketing strategy around a product that's not ready yet.
No, not at all. The thing is just obviously make sure that that's your first focus. Get the product. And after that, look at everything else. Don't buy any products. Don't go off on a tangent. Right now, the main goal of you should be to create a product and start generating an income from that product. So just follow the steps you need to in order to create the product, then market the product, sell the product, get some money in, and then go from there.
Yeah, and read go through the unannounced bonus, go through that little guide, go through my guide as well. That's in the bonus area, in the resources area for Video Sales Blueprint. Have a read and understand the steps and get that product ready and get it ready for action. And then after you launch, we've probably hammered you guys with this. I hope you guys have taken this on board because I've seen it transform my income as doing smart email marketing after you launch. So make sure you do mail those offers, you connect with the right people, you're doing quality and selling to your list. These people, they're not there to sit on a list and be ignored for months on end until you launch another product. There is a saying, you say it to me, Sam, other marketers say it, if they're not buying from me, they're buying from someone else. So get out there and offer as much as you can that's quality, that fits in with email marketing, and you'll boost your income. And then don't forget customer service. This is something you might have noticed, picked up on what we've been talking about here, is basically, oops, sorry, I just had a glitch here. Don't forget customer service is basically, there's a lot of people in the industry who don't basically ignore emails. They don't have a help desk. We're lucky. Sam's got a dedicated support team, but we do get back to a lot of stuff personally as well.
Definitely. And customer support, it helps your business hugely. Our business started to really grow when customer support became good. Basically, it wasn't very good about a year ago. There was a transition that needed to take place. It took place. And now it's really good, and it does. You do notice it in how people open your emails, even how people buy your products, and having that trust. People can buy from you and know that you're actually going to help them, and make sure that you don't lose sight of that.
Again, like just to give you an idea, it does have, believe it or not, with the customer service, does have financial rewards. I mentioned before, I had the guy desperate, he's going to miss out on his bonuses. Please help me out. Can I have them? Of course you can. Yeah, I said, yep, thanks for getting in touch personally. I'm happy to honor that for you. since you reached out. So he bought when he got home, he got his bonuses, and he was happy. He's got his product. If it's one of you in the webinar today, thanks for buying. And he got his bonuses. It meant money for me, and hopefully money for him because it was a useful product. I've had a guy come through and email. I promoted a product, and he asked me, sorry, Sam, I've been trying to figure out what's the difference between this product and this other one that's been on the market recently. So I told him, I emailed him back personally. The guy went through, bought the whole funnel.
Yeah.
He bought enough product, it banked me over $150 in one hit just for the sake of taking 10 minutes to sit down, understand their needs, and provide a solution for them. So don't forget the customer service at all. And so I hope that's been incredibly valuable for you guys. We've had we've gone through the whole webinar. Let me know what you thought of it. I hope it's been valuable. It's given you a good insight as to the model we use to create an income, how I've gone from the steps I took and what I learned off Sam Bakker from going from working for someone to applying all those skills to create an income. And I hope you guys can replicate that as well. We've got a recording of this, so you didn't want to catch it again, we will email that out. And so now we've got some questions and answers. We've had a question come through already. Here we go, Sam. Would you like to answer this one?
Yeah, sure. Good question, Joyce. Joyce has asked, what model are people like Ryan Dice and Frank Kern using? They seem to primarily promote their own products. Now, I've worked with Ryan Dice before. Ryan Dice has actually promoted one of my products before. Ryan does a lot because he's got a large list. He's got probably most of the email or marketers out there on his list. He doesn't really need to go and get more leads because he's got so many. So what he does is he creates with his team his own products and sells it to his list because he keeps 100% when he does that. When he's promoting an affiliate's product, 50% goes to the affiliate. So if he's got the resources to basically create his own products and sell them, whereas here, we don't necessarily have the resources that Ryan Dice has. So it's a good idea for us to promote affiliate products, and it fits in with our model and what we're doing right now. Is it the best model or is it a better model? It's hard to say. They're both good models. Both of them work well for each of us. Ryan Dice is just in a different situation than we are in this audience with our market, and that's the reason for his model.
Yeah, and I'd like to, could expand on that. I'd like to think the way we've been doing things is probably a little bit more practical for a lot of the people on the webinar to be able to follow. Would you agree?
Yes, I would agree.
Yeah, because as you mentioned, that's a way to start off big and hope it works.
Yeah.
And so Ken's come through. Can we contact later for product creation? I assume you're meaning contact us. Yeah, Ken, if you've got the Facebook, look me up. I'll write it in the chat box, or if you've got Skype, I'll put my details there in case any of you want to connect up. I'll be happy to talk with you, and I hope this workshop has been helpful for you. So keep the questions flowing in, guys. Anything you have might have. So hit up the chat box for some questions. I will quickly just put my Facebook and Skype in the chat box as well, so you can see it. So connect up, and I will be happy to share. Help you guys along as thank you, and encourage you to reach out, because I did say it myself. Reach out to affiliates, stalk the people on my Facebook or whatever you want to do, and connect up and just reach out, because it's been incredibly valuable for me. And I can imagine it will be valuable for you, just talking to affiliates and working your way into the industry from there. So here we go, and email as well. What I will do is get on the email. Just drop me a chat message on Skype. We've got people coming through asking about that. Add me as a contact on Skype and just drop me a chat message, and we can go from there and talk up. We've got another one come through. Okay, here's one, Sam, that's quite interesting as well. Again, Joyce, thank you for the very good question. I often see that many products on JB Zoo that appear to have good launches with lots of affiliates promoting only sold less than 10 or 10 plus, while others have sold over 3,000. So I'm just going to reread that. Appear to have good. Many products on JB Zoo that appeared to have good good launches with lots of affiliates promoting only sold. Oh, so a lot of the affiliates involved in the launches have only sold less than 10 or more than 10 products, whereas some have sold over 3,000. Why are these launches successful? I think a lot of the launches, like we had a lot of people come on with Video Sales Blueprint who did have really have a a lesser of a sales history. But then it still brings in, it drip feeds a few sales through, but the guys that have sold over 3,000 products on JVZoo actually can transform a launch, having them on board.
Oh yeah, definitely, and it's probably most likely the fact that that the product didn't sell very well, or maybe it's not the actual funnel. Like you might have a particular product that it shows on JVZoo, but it may have sold more, and it's just hiding the fact that it's actually sold a ton. That can happen. Now, the ones that do sell really well, often it's because they have a lot of support and they have a really good product as well as really good sales copy and a sales video. It's usually the complete package, and that's why they've sold 3,000, 4,000. We've had products that have sold 4,000. A friend that I work closely with recently sold one that went over 11,000. So, it just depends. Do you have the complete package, and how good is your product? Does it have the ability to go that far?
Yeah, and having those affiliates on board that have sold over 3,000 products, again, it doesn't seem like a heck of a lot of a difference. But you've got to remember, these guys, they've sold 3,000 products because a lot of them, 3,000, 10,000 products, they're mailing to lists of 30,000, 40,000 people. And that's naturally, again, with the law of averages, that's going to bring in a ton of sales, and that's going to help make a successful launch. I mean, at the end of the day, you will get a lot of, when you do go to launch a product, you are going to get a lot of people requesting to promote your product that have less than 10 sales, more than 10 sales, but by all means, put them on, we often put them on delayed commissions, because there are a few people that will disappear and offer your product to someone who are just going to refund or things like that. But you've got to give them a chance, because at the end of the day, that was me when I started off. I had less than 10 sales and people were approved me, and at the end of the day, you had to start somewhere as well.
Yeah, I did. I went through a bit different, because it was a bit different back when I started on JVZoo, but you wouldn't have, I don't think there was even the ability to delay commissions, or I was already known enough that people would just put me as instant. But when everyone goes through the same process, it's just a matter of getting through it and making it happen. And Sam has, which is great, but it wasn't easy at the start, but managed to get through it and do it, and now the rewards are coming in.
Yeah, and when you think about it, like as I said, my first promotion, I made $350 US, and I had less than 10 sales. The guy approved me. He put me on instant commissions as well. I had less than 10 sales. I drove $350 worth of sales for myself, and it was a 50% split through the funnel. So that guy made $350 by simply approving me. So don't ignore the small guys either. Okay, so let's have a look through some more of the questions. There we go. What model do people like Alex Jeffries use, as he promotes primarily his own products and those of his students? Plus, he strongly focuses on creating your own product. So what sort of model is that, Sam? Are you familiar with?
I know Alex. We talked quite a bit. He uses a model where he sells a lot of his own products, but what he does is he has a lot of events that he runs and a lot of coaching that he does on the back end. So he'll sell a product to generate a lead, and then he'll actually take that lead or subscriber through a process where they'll eventually, hopefully, in his case, sign up for coaching or a mastermind of his where he can get closer, and then he encourages them to create their own products and takes them through how to actually do that and how to launch their own product. I actually know some of his students. I know a good friend of mine is one of his students, a guy who now makes hundreds of thousands of dollars online, was one of Alex's students who went through that process, and he loves it. He was really grateful that Alex did that for him, and it works for him. If you're looking for that, personal touch, Alex is a good guy to be able to connect with, and I would recommend his model is great. Again, it's a different model, but he knows what he's doing.
Cool. So thanks for the good questions, guys, and the feedback. Thank you for your support with the webinar. I hope you've found it valuable. Any more questions? We've got a little bit of time where we can nut out a couple more questions, and yeah, so just keep firing them through. Again, as mentioned, we're going to have a replay up later on as well. We'll email it out. So yeah. Any more questions before we wrap it up for the night, and hopefully avoid the lightning and the rain, and hope the power keeps going, Sam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's check. Questions.
So we've lost the questions for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, the questions have disappeared. So yeah, the screen's it's gone all a little bit funny there. So apologies if you've been sending through questions. Maybe it's just the nature of today. There we go. Cool. So if you want to have a quick read of that one.
Cool. So what is displayed on JVZoo sales may not be specific as 10 plus. I read your message, Joyce, and it should show the details. I think that was just a glitch, or maybe the product didn't sell well at all and the person only sold, less than 10 products. It should show the amount. It should show it correctly when you go and look through find products.
Yeah, and sometimes depending what time of day you jump on JVZoo, you might see a number 3 product and think, man, that must be hammering it. And you look at it, it's only sold 20. Oops, sorry, we've lost the power again. Oh, hope everyone there.
No one's there. So she's probably just happiest. We're so happy.
So happy.
Thank you for that. I won't have to deal with it. You get away from it, I have to deal with it all night.
Yeah, you have to face the fury.
Yeah.
Okay, so it looks like we're back online. Looks like we're back online. Put a yes in the chat box if you can hear us. Sorry about that. We're on a roll, and the power cut out again. So apologies. I can sure you appreciate what sort of situation we're in right now. So just mentioning again, Joyce, where you're at on JVZoo at the time. Sometimes it could look like a product's in the top 10, depending on the time of day. If the day's just reset, especially if it's late at night and it's ticked over midnight, you can often have products that have sold 3 products, 10 products that are up in the top 10 and look like they're doing really well. And then come the morning when all the bigger products have got sales flowing through, they drop off the list again. So just double check that time there. So perfect. Thanks for everyone getting the feedback through, saying they're going to hit me up on Skype and Facebook. Look forward to connecting with you. Thanks for joining us. And I really hope you got the max out of this webinar, and it's really going to make a difference in how you go about marketing. And I hope it's giving you the encouragement you need to go out there and smash it. And I really hope all of you on this webinar, one day Sam Bakker and I will be promoting your products, and you'll be successfully promoting ours. So this is what this is all about. We're passionate about helping you out. And again, thank you for taking advantage of this workshop, and you walk away with the unannounced bonus, get all the resources, and use your workbooks and get to work. The key thing is take action and get started. So thank you very much. We're going to call it a night here in Thailand and brave the storm. This is Sam Robinson.
And Sam Bakker, thank you for coming on, and we'll talk again soon.
Thank you.